Hi, Pisces. This is Just with your October 2016 reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day. Now, first, I'm going to say, be very careful for some Pisces out there if you've just recently kicked a habit. Okay. Because I feel like in your most vulnerable and most weakest point, that old friend or that old contact, that type of thing, connect, that type of thing, will come out of nowhere. Again, your life is just a whole life of tests. So, yeah, just be very careful with that because, again, I do see that there can be something that happens that will call for a very it's going to be a trying time for some of you in some circumstances. And if you get to a very vulnerable spot in your life, just do your best to, again, see things, align yourself with the better part of things, and continue to look forward into the future instead of in that actual moment, because I feel like in your most weakest time someone's going to come out of the blue that means you no good, so just be careful with that. So I'm going to start off by saying I'm going to do my best to temper my words and to speak in a more ginger sort of way, because my past videos, I started off fine and then I was yelling and not yelling and screaming, but just very animated. And I don't like when I get like that. It might come off a bit brash to people, and that's not my intention. But again, I get swept up in these readings and I just start to talk as if I'm talking to, a person directly. So let's get into your reading. Some Pisces, have recently have been going through quite an extensive process in getting a particular job. And I feel like the person that you met with, she was very strict, she was very concise, and she was very clear in what the expectations are and were in for the company and as far as your role is concerned. And I feel like some of you guys were less than honest. Some of you guys had decided to keep some things hidden from her, because you kind of obviously was fearing that you wouldn't get the job, so you kind of kept some things hidden when questions were posed to you. And I feel like once you get the offer, I feel like, well, it's two things. Some of you are going to actually get the offer, and then there's going to be a lot of questions that come your way once you're at the job, that sort of thing, to kind of find out what's going on with your application, something about your background, that type of thing. Excuse me. Others of you are going to be hearing from this person directly, asking additional questions, trying to get down to the bottom of your background, trying to close up some loose ends, that sort of thing. Okay, so just for those of you that's out there interviewing right now, be very careful. Be as honest as possible, because the people that you're dealing with, they're very honest and they are looking for transparency. Like they do not want any BS from anyone, because it's going to come back to haunt you. So just be very careful with how you're dealing with people that are being upfront with you. Do your best to be as upfront with them. Now, I do see that whatever is hidden in this aspect of work, I do feel like people are going to be coming back, asking you to clarify, asking you to explain yourself. And I feel like if they find out anything wrong, you're going to be gone. Like these people, and I keep getting this I got this for you. I think I got it for Scorpio. Yeah, so for you and Scorpio, I haven't done Cancer, so I don't know if this is a water thing, but this is definitely the message going for you as well, which is whatever was hidden is coming back, and it's kind of coming back to bite you, or it's going to go back. I feel like more is coming back to bite Pisces. I don't see it necessarily going back to bite somebody else. For some people it will, though. some of you guys, it's like somebody's trying to fight you and you're going to fight fire with fire. Like, no, I wasn't wrong. And yes, I was. And you're going to be able to stake your claim, in the situation and explain yourself. But for others of you, I feel like because there's going to be some issues with this application, your background check, that sort of thing, you not being able to, again, express yourself, explain yourself accurately, or explain things away. I feel like some of you are going to lose your job. Some of you are going to lose your job or lose an opportunity that you really was banking on. Again, because you was less than honest about some things. Okay. And I feel like, in losing this job and, losing this opportunity, if you will, there will be a sense where, some of you may fall into a negative space. Okay. Again, so that's why I said be very careful about you falling into a negative space. But some of you may be feeling like in indulging in whatever, thing that you may indulge in, it may be for you alleviating mental stress. Okay. So I feel like some of you may get over, some of you, I feel like whatever this thing is, some of you may feel like, okay, I need to, whatever your therapy is, but it is not necessarily healthy for you, but you may shop, you may drink, you may find yourself doing that, but then you're saying, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. Like, you're not going to stay doing that. You're not going to get stuck there for the remainder of October. You may indulge just to, again, to offset the stress of whatever this thing is that you may be losing, someone finding out something and then they're ending something with you, and then it's like, oh my goodness. And then you just need to, whatever it is that you find yourself doing or have found yourself doing to, again, mitigate the stress of it all. But I feel like that's in fact, it's actually going to kind of help some of you guys mentally get on the other side of this thing. Because I do see that there is going to be a missed opportunity. Maybe be very careful about, you losing some money. I feel like some of you guys might be in judgment because of some things that you just did not like. Okay, so some of you may have not paid a ticket or that sort of thing. Didn't know that you were summoned to go to court for something. And now you have to get questioned about some things. And some of you may have to pay a fine. You have to pay this fine out of the blue. But whatever it is, it's like you'll pay it and then you'll go on with your life. You'll deal with it and then you'll move on. It's not something that is 100% going to stay with you. Like Scorpio, I feel like Scorpio's energy was a whole lot tougher. And I feel like there's going to be at a stage where, you may find yourself again in a situation where you're called to explain yourself. You're called to clarify some things. And I feel like toward the end of the month, there could be some disruption. Or for some of you that missed out on this opportunity, it's like, okay, now you have to get back into looking for work. And it's extremely competitive out there. And you're not going to be happy with what's out there. You're not going to be happy with having to get back into the pool of looking for work, having to because I'm sensing also for some of you, there's going to be some disputes at the workplace, dispelling some issues at the workplace. But then it's almost as if the kind of drama and the issues at the workplace isn't going to mitigate 100%. It's almost like it dies down and kicks back up. It dies down, kicks back up type of thing. Okay. Some of you, again, be very careful about where you put your wallet, stuff like that. I do see that some of you can lose money. Some people may take money from you, so be very careful with that. And I feel like maybe on the onside, it may be very frustrating, but you may find out that, hey, all I had in my wallet was credit cards, so I just canceled them. And it's one of those things. Like you definitely are going to experience a hiccup along the way in October. But I feel like it's nothing that you, by the end of the month, or even going into like the third week of October, it's going to be like, oh, okay, it's fine now. That type of thing. So it's not going to be something that 100% sticks with you, but it will be something that is going to take, like, you're going to take a step back from it for a moment. Okay. And I feel like if you have had just hard dead set on aligning yourself with a corporation or company, and you felt like, now my house is harmonious. And for some of you, you are like, you're out there, you're active, and you've aligned yourself and partnered with a particular company. Your home life is feeling very stable. You may have some issues in your love life. Okay. Or yeah, so I'll stop there with that. Now, trying to see whatever else I see. Now, for some of you that are dealing with mother issues, I feel like some of you have not been very forthcoming with your mom. There's been some lies told to your mother. And I feel like your mom is going to get down to the bottom of the situation. Okay. And you may have to defend whatever lies you've been telling her. Whatever, well, I would say I won't even say lies, but things that you've not been revealing to her, things you've been kind of keeping. So I don't know if you've necessarily been out and out lying, but you've not been 100% forthcoming with your mother. And I feel like for some of you, it could be at a detriment in the sense of, if some of you owe rent, if some of you owe monies, that sort of thing, and someone's saying, like a landlord, like, hey, when am I going to get money? And you're like, oh, well, I'm going to get it to you next week, definitely. And it's been like 2 months ago, you might find that you're going to get kicked out in the month of August. So you've just gotten kicked out in the month of September, the latter part, or just at the beginning part of October. And again, you may be at the mercy of this person, or or maybe you have to go and stay with someone else, that sort of thing. Okay. So I see this hiccup along the way, because I do see some moving. I see by force getting kicked out for some of you guys, evicted, that sort of thing. Just changes being made in your living arrangement situation. And some of you, this could have already happened like a while ago. Okay. And now you're feeling like, and it's coming back, because that's how sometimes it works as well. Like, and that's why some of you may say, well, yeah, some of you have commented that, yeah, this happened to me like 6 months. Does that apply? Sometimes it does, because it's literally telling the entire story. So it could have been where some of you moved, a while ago. And ever since you've moved, you've been at this mercy of someone else that has made you feel like either you've been a slave or you've been enslaved. It's not funny. It's not funny, but it's the way I'm seeing the cards. And when I say it, it just looks funny. So you may be feeling enslaved, or imprisoned, that sort of thing, because the person rules with an iron fist. But I feel like some of you have been, maybe in the month of October, you're starting to move forward to find ways so that you can move on your own. Okay. And some of you could be putting out money so that you can, find new places, apply, put your application in for your own place, that sort of thing. And some of you could, have try to apply to apartments or get home loans, that type of thing. And some of you might miss out on the opportunity that you want. Like, looking for certain apartments in your area might be very competitive, and you might not be able to find something in the month of October. Okay. But I feel like you guys won't lose any sleep over it. Okay. And because you know eventually you're going to get what you need. So on the positive side of this, for those of you that are experiencing that sort of situation, that, yeah, you've been moving in with someone, I see you guys moving away, like possibly within the next 6 weeks for some of you guys, 6 days, 6 weeks, and 6 months. Some of you guys are definitely going to be moving away because now you know that, okay, I need to, get head on and get into my own place. And again, it may be a process because trying to move where you need to go can be a bit challenging because it's very competitive. Now, so let's go on to love. So I do see that for some of my Pisces men, you're dealing with like an ex-wife. Yeah, let's start there. So some of you are dealing with an ex-wife, and I feel like in the past you could have kind of made an offer, but it was like facetious. It wasn't really like you didn't do anything. You just, some Pisces, they'll sell you a dream in a minute. Now, don't get offended. I don't sell anybody any dreams. Okay, I'm saying, you know how you guys are. You can be a bit fickle in the sense that you're like a fish. So you swim in toward the person, and then next you cut out and go the other way. And the person's like, I never heard. Like, I can't tell you how many people that I've counseled that has dealt with Pisces. And they're like, I never heard from them before. I never heard from them again. And the cross watchers, they're going to comment below and say, yes, Pisces, they don't know how to talk, that type of thing. We all have our hang-ups. We all have our thing. No one's perfect. So I feel like this person has tried to, again, make a gesture toward you, but they didn't put any action behind it. For my Pisces men, again, this is you. And I feel like this has been this internal battle with you. 1 minute, like, forget it. And then next minute, it's like, no, I want to know, what's going on, that sort of thing. And I feel like 1 minute you want to cut a situation off, but then the next minute it's like you are obsessing and kind of thinking about the person and kind of wanting to be with the person, but then at the same time you know how it's like 1 minute you hate them, the next minute you want to know all about them. I'm not even going to say love because I don't see any cups cards. But I feel like 1 minute is like, it's like, I hate you. I just want to wring your neck. But then you can't, but then you have these moments where you kind of can't stop thinking about the person. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of internal battles as far as your heart is concerned. Okay. And maybe the way that this person communicates to you pierces your heart. They're so brash and they're so direct that it hurts you, and they don't really realize how much it hurts you. And I am talking to my Pisces men. Okay, but you guys possibly have a child together. I feel like for a lot of you, it's one child. For some of you, it's two. Some of you have two children, and they make you very okay, so for some of you that have two children by this woman, she's very moody. 1 minute she's really nice, and the next minute she's nasty, and you just don't even know how to take her. You're like, I don't damn know. She's like, I was thinking a cat. She's just moody. But your two kids are so sweet. Like, your kids are loving, and they're kind, and they're caring, and they just love you, and like, you think about them a lot, particularly at night. You think about them a lot, and it's going to be kind of hard on you guys, I want to say, this weekend, for those of you that this relates to, because we're going to have Pisces full moon, I think, February. What am I talking about? February? I'm bugging. Friday. Right. Friday. See, when I start to get too comfortable with things that I say. Friday. I think it's Friday or Thursday, something like that. We're going to have a full moon in Pisces. And so some of you are going to be very emotional. Particularly probably thinking about your children, and those kids are so sweet. Like, they're humans, of course, but they're almost like, the way that they act is like puppy dogs. They're so sweet and loving, very loving children. But then here go the crabby, I was going to say something, I'm not going to say it, but then here go the mother's like a damn crab, but she's not even a crab. She's, it's kind of like crabby. Just, all over the place, could be very emotional, but and again, I'm talking about my Pisces men. But you're in heavy contemplation about what to do, because she is a handful, this woman, to deal with. She really is. Now, others of you that's dealing with someone that just has one child, you have one child by that person. I feel like for some of you, she could have tainted that child's perception of you. And the child is rude, the child has the attitude now toward you too, So I feel like there could be, this child is very defiant against you. You're trying to discipline them, and they are, could be very mentally and verbally reckless, this child. For some of you, again, particularly those of you that have one child. Okay, and I feel like the child doesn't even realize, and again, I'm talking to my Pisces men, the child doesn't even realize that you have tried, albeit in your Piscean way, which is like, I'm going to insist, but I'm not going to make any waves. It may come off to other people that I'm being passive and I'm just being lazy. But, Pisces are not the type of sign that's going to make drama for the most part, unless you have other elements in you. So the child may have some issues with you, but they don't even realize that, you've kind of always been in the background, definitely feeding money throughout their life. But I feel like the other parent has tainted their mentality toward you. And because of it, I feel like some of you are feeling like you're in between a rock and a hard place. Like some of you may want to, because I was definitely sensing that some of you definitely want to go back to your family, particularly for those of you that were once married. I feel like some of you want to go back to your marriage and have this happy home, but I feel like the person is not interested. Like, you can't even reach this person. Like, this person, they've blocked you. So some of you have been blocked from being able to communicate with someone, okay, that you possibly want to start a new relationship with or start something with, okay? Some of you have already went out and got with someone and you're about to get married and that whole thing, and you may want to share it and say, hey, I want to have my children at the wedding, and you can't even get a hold of this person. Can't get a hold of the parent. And you may find yourself feeling like, this person always has a way of controlling you one way or another. They're controlling you through the children. And again, particularly those of you that have these two children, because I keep seeing the two elements. So particularly those of you that have these two children. Okay, and I feel like the woman could be very slighted by you because you could have done something in the past that really hurt her. Okay. And so she's slighted, and I feel like, but you're going to get over that. Okay. You're going to get over it. I do feel like, if you do eventually speak to the other parent, there will be some conflict. I feel like your family may be at odds with this person as well. Or if you tell and you share whatever's going on with the problematic situations with you and the other parent, I feel like your family, they'll all chime in and have something to say, which is not going to make you feel very happy about the situation, because deep down inside, some of you want to be back with this person, albeit I've said that definitely this person is problematic and deep down inside, I feel like some of you want to be with this person and you want to be back with them. Okay. And some of you, particularly my Pisces men, are going to have to give up some money. You're going to have to give up some money to this person. Or you've not been giving up money. Okay, and you've been focusing on building up your money, and that could be the problem as well, with contacting her. Now, I do see that some of you are going to decide to move on. I do see some moving, again, like I said, and I feel like particularly those of you that have one child, that one child scenario that I was saying, because I don't typically talk about children at all, but I'm seeing it very strongly right now. So for those of you that have that one child, I feel like some of you are going to be leaving, or you may be hearing that the mom is leaving, like she's with someone and they're moving away, that type of thing. Okay. And they're carrying all of that attitude with them. Okay. Yep, they're carrying that attitude with them. Okay. And just know that this is a time for you, Pisces, to make your life what you want it to be. For there to be any endings, which I do see some endings, and as I mentioned earlier, it is definitely calling for you to understand that, you know, you can make your life what you want it to be. You have the power to manifest the things that you want out of hard work, consistency, persistence, and, you know, mastering whatever it is that you put your focus and energy and time into. You have that ability to do that. Okay. And as it relates to love, aside from these family situations, I feel like, again, some of you, some of my Pisces ladies, you guys are really coming off as like a queen of swords. So I know that a lot of you have been going through ascension in the process of, as well as my men, but the women have been going through a lot of ascension and processes, and has changed a lot of you as it relates to love. And I feel like someone could have come and tried to make, again, a very, as you might call it, a lazy offer. Like, he said something, but he didn't do anything. That type of thing. Made a suggestion, but I didn't hear anything else. That type of thing. I feel like some of you in your heart, you've already cut him out, because you're like, and you know, when he calls, you give him a chance to see what he has to say, but you know that he's telling you, you know, half truths and whole lies. Like, he's keeping a lot of secrets, and you know it, and you're not going to have it. And it's like, you're going to continue to question him and get down to the bottom of the situation until he concedes and comes out with whatever it is. And I feel like, although you've ended it with this person, you know that you still have this very strong tie to him, and it's very hard to let it go. But I feel like, again, you guys are getting over that. And albeit, if you're entertaining this person throughout the month of October, there will be there will be, I guess, disappointment, since that's what I was about to say, but there's going to be some disputes. Okay, disputes that I feel like is not going. I feel like disputes. I feel like, here's the thing. Some of you might again find yourself succumbing to some type of energy where it's like, okay, you know, I'm weak. You know, I'm weak for this person. You may get into that. Okay, but then I feel like you guys will quickly regain your mental strength, because you're going to realize that, you know what, this thing right here is not beneficial, and I feel like you guys are going to move away from it. And if the person tries to come back and tries to tell you, hey, you know, now they want to tell you what you wanted to hear in the beginning, you're going to be like, yeah, no, sorry, forget about it. That's all right. I'm fine. Even some of you are like that. Someone owes you money, and you're saying, you know what, you can keep your money. I don't care. Like, somebody could be saying that to you too. Like, you know what, you can keep your money. I don't care. Like, no, and no. But I feel like it's more Pisces that's saying the no to other signs. Okay. Then people are turning you down. I feel like more it's you turning others down toward the latter part of October again. Again, there is this not you know, people not necessarily being honest 100%, but then you knowing the truth and you not allowing people to mislead you. And although you know that you're still weak for this person, but I feel like mentally you're not going to allow yourself to get so far gone. And again, it's going to create some disappointments and disputes, but I feel like regardless, you're like, I don't care. I'm not going to fall for this again. I'm not. And then you're just going to start focusing on work. Some of you guys are going to physically be moving away. So I just explained all of that. So that's what I see for you guys for the month of October. Don't mean to cut it short just like that. But really, at this point, I'll just be repeating myself. And we don't need any of that when we're at 29 minutes. So that's what I have. guys for the month of October. I hope that this resonates for you in the best of ways, of course. If it does, comment below. Let me know exactly how this resonates with you and share with the rest of us in the comments below. And for those of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I think I kept my emotions intact for this reading. I didn't hear myself getting too animated, so that's good. And subscribe, as I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Pisces.